We are Chelsea, Kanan, and Chi, and today we're going to be talking about the key ESG issues we think Louis Vuitton should be focusing on. Firstly, in terms of the environment, we believe companies should focus on promoting biodiversity. Despite spotlighting initiatives in biodiversity in its Live 360 program in 2019, it is clear that the company's plans are much weaker than its other pro-environmental efforts. For example, in combating climate change, the company exceeded its target of reducing gas emissions. There is also a solid commitment to reuse and recycle materials through a partnership with Cedra and with waste management. However, not much has been done to address the issue that animal killings are affecting biodiversity. This means that LV is ultimately still committed to the leather and exotic skins industry, where animals such as alligators are killed and skinned for their products. Furthermore, the current trend of vegan fashion arising in 2020 could potentially make the company a lot less competitive. According to data from analytics firm Edited, major world countries such as the US, UK, Germany, and France are heavily investing in the vegan market. The number of shoes available described as vegan increased by 27% year-over-year in the US and 36% in the UK. Moreover, major designer brands such as Chanel and Gucci have kept their catwalks fur-free. The company's insistence on using animal-originated materials can therefore lead to it being seen as having failed to keep up with the market trend, which would make customers turn away to seek for other alternatives. As a result, we suggest opening up possibilities to gradually shift towards and build its legacy on alternatives, including PVC and recycled polyester, to name a few.
With relation to the social category, we believe Louis Vuitton should focus on labor standards. Labor standards are particularly important in the luxury and fashion industry as companies strive to keep costs low and maximize profits. However, when sourcing cheap labor, it is important to uphold high labor standards to ensure the safety and well-being of workers. Although Louis Vuitton's ethical charter reflects its anti-modern slavery policy, the company does not publish a comprehensive list of suppliers or any information about forced labor. Firstly, there have been alleged human rights abuses in Louis Vuitton's supply chain. In Bangladesh, there have been reports of child labor and poor working conditions with regards to factories and leather tanneries. In particular, workers at the latter are subject to harsh working conditions as they often fall ill as a result of the chemicals they are exposed to without adequate protective equipment. It is important to know that Louis Vuitton was one of the many brands sourcing from these factories. Therefore, it is evident that the issue of labor standards is an industry-wide problem. This is also comparable to the situation in Romania, where Louis Vuitton has a factory, as Clean Clothes Campaign reported that Romanian workers in the garment industry are subject to extremely low wages, forced to work overtime, and have limited access to water. We can therefore conclude that for Louis Vuitton to stay ahead of the market and avoid public and media scrutiny, it must adequately deal with such allegations and ultimately work towards promoting better working conditions for its employees.
In governance, we believe that transparency and business ethics should be focused on. Companies have a corporate responsibility to be ethical. However, Louis Vuitton has had numerous lawsuits questioning their ethics. For example, in 2014, 23,876 customers had sued Louis Vuitton for violating California law by requesting and recording personal information when paying for their purchases. Additionally, there is an ongoing lawsuit regarding alleged no-hire agreements with other luxury brands such as Gucci and Prada in sex luxury retail. Employees would be required to wait 6 months without compensation before being able to apply for another job with other brands. Benefits of a non-competitive labor market is diminished and negatively impact the employees in luxury retail industry. Louis Vuitton could communicate, engage, and train their staffs to reflect on their ethical code. Louis Vuitton needs to enforce and measure its effectiveness. Transparency has become a more prominent issue, especially with the Rana Plaza collapse. It entails public disclosure, hence, with public disclosure, the company will be held accountable for its actions. Disclosure about the purchasing practices and information about suppliers will allow consumers to make more informed decisions about their purchases. Louis Vuitton has only scored a 21 to 30% compared to Hugo Boss with a 41 to 50%, according to the Fashion Transparency Index in 2019. Surprisingly, high street brands such as H&M and Primark are more progressive than Louis Vuitton. Being more transparent would build trust and customer loyalty whilst improving its reputation, which in turn will increase profits and attract more customers. One of the ways that Louis Vuitton could improve is by enabling open line communications between consumers and suppliers.